on Fox News Sunday.
Chris is asking a question. You're giving an answer that your own consul, Kingsley, said is not true. You don't have firewalls. That's an internal memo. That's your consul saying you have these problems. And if you had those problems then, and for 40 years have had these problems, and the American people have put $53 million into your organization and countless other dollars of other state, local, and charity money, the question is, will you allow, at least looking back, a review of these things so that people can have a confidence that you have those in? There's no God-given right for any organization to receive a grant from the American people. The fact is there are organizations standing in line that wish they won instead of you, and they're giving us the transparency so we can have the confidence the money is spent only for the purpose of the grant.
Congressman Issa is right. You have competitive grants, and you need to compete with a lot of other folks. You need to deliver those services. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right that his staff, who repeatedly talked to the lawyers at Harman Kern that said we did an internal lawyer-client privilege confidential document that gave advice. Since I took over, I have overhauled the entire system.
Well, wait,
and we took our advice, and that's what we're doing.
You say that you overhauled. You say you overhauled the whole system.
Yes.
There are the videos which have happened on your watch.
Yes.
I just want to put up. Here are ACORN workers advising young men and women posing as a pimp and a prostitute how to buy a house and avoid paying taxes. Here it is.
Your business is a performing artist.
A performing artist.
But you are. Okay? So you're not lying.
It's kind of boosting my ego.
But you're a performing artist.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So stop saying plastic.
Got it.
Day one, you earn X amount of dollars, find another name.
Find another name for...
And don't say that you're prostituting or whatever.
I want to point out, because you've also attacked Fox. Fox did not produce, did not make, did not buy those videos. We've just put them on the air like everybody else now has. You were brought in a year ago to clean up ACORN. Is this the new and improved ACORN?
Well, what did I do? Immediately, these folks were terminated.
Well, actually, first you attacked us and said it was a political and a racial conspiracy.
Immediately. I know the sequence. Those folks were terminated immediately. And what did I also do? Make sure that we have an independent review, make sure that we suspended any walk-in activities so we could review what worked, what didn't work. In instances, those folks were thrown out. I have an obligation to my board, to my members, and to my other employees that actually did practice professional, good, high standards. Those folks cannot work for me.
But why is that still going on a year after you took office?
Well, here's the thing. As I said, the first thing that we began to do was reorganize our board, make sure that we had financial structures and controls, make sure of the way our offices were managed. And in a way, it's indefensible what I saw there. That is why I said, you know what? We're going to terminate these folks immediately, even though I've been reviewing things and making sure that we look at an organization that has 71 sites. In a way, this was good for us. So what it did was show up to us what weaknesses we have, and we have moved swiftly
ACORN,
in order to correct them.
ACORN has long ties to Barack Obama. He's done work over the years for various organizations.
You say that there's long ties, but that's a matter of opinion.
He was an attorney for ACORN on a couple of occasions.
You personally endorsed Barack Obama last year in a speech before ACORN. Do you hope that he will veto any measure that comes out of Congress cutting off ACORN funds?
First of all, President Obama was a young lawyer among many different lawyers that represented a whole host of organizations. Just not us.
Can I get an answer
Here's
to my
what
question?
we want. President Obama is a very smart, very thoughtful person. What he does is his decision. I would never presume to tell the president whether he should veto a bill or not.
He says that he believes that ACORN should be investigated.
Well, that's his opinion also.
Well, it's also Chairman John Conyers' opinion, and he's asked his subcommittee ranking Chairman Nadler to pursue that. And again, this is not Republicans. This is about all the corporate structure, whether things have been violated. You know, if you want to have an independent investigation, and I've heard that expression used by Bertha many times, you go out to Price Waterhouse or Ernst & Young and you You walk in and say, I want an audit of our corporations. I want to, and when we get done with it, make it public.
Let me interrupt you, if I may, because you said this last week that you would name an independent auditor by Friday to review ACORN. I looked at your website 20 minutes ago. There's still not a word.
You will have that announcement on Monday, making sure that when we hit the ground running, that everything is in place, because it is important.
Is it going to be somebody independent like Price Waterhouse? Is it?
Well,
I mean, you're naming the auditor, so some people are going to wonder whether or not.
You'll find out who that person is, and you'll also note that we brought in things last year, new auditors, new financial professionals, to make sure that they gave us sound advice, which I've been implementing, as well as making sure that what you just saw never, ever happens again.
Bertha, if I could ask just one question from a standpoint of the government.
We're almost out of time.
Before we provide additional grants or make you eligible for additional grants, wouldn't it be fair for you to demonstrate to the federal government, to the agencies, that in fact you now have those separations, so that whether it's Price Waterhouse or somebody else, will you assure us that that's the case? Because my opinion continues to be you shouldn't get another penny of federal dollars until you demonstrate that those dollars are firewalled for only that use, and that has not been the history of your organization.
And I'm glad Congressman Issa said that is his opinion.
Are you willing to open your books up to?
I am willing to do the work that I need to do every single day, not be distracted, make sure that things that we do well, we beef up, and things that we don't do so well, that we change and we reform. I have to work for poor people. I have to make sure I'm saving people's homes. I have to make sure that children don't get lead poisoning. That's my job.
Ms. Lewis,
that's what I'm going to do.
Congressman Issa, I want to thank you both. I want to thank you both for coming in and answering all of our questions.
Thank you.
Fox News Sunday.